Good Monday, makers. Welcome back to another episode of Maker Pipe Monday. This is our weekly episode where we share wildly creative builds made out of EMT Conduit. And I'm Dave. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's get right into the builds. We've got a great group. The first one is by Axel. Axel has been a community member for a while, very active, and he built these dog beds for his two dogs. He's got two aging dogs, Tin and Klaus, and he goes through in his community posts and outlines exactly how to build this. But take a look at what he created. He created a frame, a simple frame out of EMT conduit that he stretched this coolaroo cover over that's specifically made for dog beds. And he used four of our 90-degree connectors in the corners. And that's it. Pretty simple frame. He used some rubber feet on the end and some end caps on the flip side and just stretched this cover over that frame to give his dogs a great dog bed. You can see there's the caps there on the top. But yeah, really simple build. Axel has done a lot with kayaks, and he's got a great YouTube channel if you're into kayaking. But he says dogs are happy with it. It helps. He says they actually don't need the ortho pad that he has pictured on here because it's so comfortable. So Axel, so happy that that worked out for you. Thanks so much for posting it. And then as a shout out to show what you use, the Coolaroo website, you can actually buy these replacement covers in a few different sizes, and they're $16 each. A few different, they've got medium and few other ones available, different colors, different sizes, extra large, small, to fit your size dog, and they look pretty good. But doing a maker pipe frame is what Axel wanted to do, and it looked like it came out great. Thanks so much, Axel. Appreciate that tip. Here's a build by Javier Mora. He has a he had this pallet rack or pallet table workstation. You can see it here. He created this whole workstation out of Palletwood, which is really cool. Great use of an inexpensive material. And then he decided to redo it with MakerPipe and redesign it and then make it with EMT conduit. So here's a few pictures. You can see that he's got a few more shelves down below, a little bit more utility, and put it all on casters. I like his drawer slide there. He took off the shelf drawer slides and mounted them on these brackets here. And then you can pull out his keyboard underneath. I like that, Javier. Great build. There's a better close-up of it that he used for a bracket. And there's the top. It looks like he's got yours truly up there on MPM and some maker pipe. Appreciate the support, Javier. Great build. I'd love seeing you remake this thing. And it came out great. Thanks for posting that. Here's a really interesting one by Renato. He sent this in the community and also accompanied a really long document to detail his whole build. But what he did is he's got a small tractor, a Rural King RK25, and he needed a carryall on the back that went on the back hitch. And he was kind of emulating this big tool rack that he saw, which cost $2,000. And he was able to make it for a lot cheaper. And this is what he created. He used EMT conduit and maker pipe fittings. Everything's black. And it actually attaches with a quick hitch onto the back of his RK25 tractor. And this is a fantastic attachment, it sounds like, because he can hold his chainsaw, all his tools, you can see he's got his shovel here bungeed to the side of the frame, but whatever he needs to carry, he can put it on the back of his tractor and easily take off that attachment as well. And he sent in a video that I'd like to show you guys. So he's got this attachment right here, which is a speed hitch, and then it just lifts up and picks up the maker pipe, and then he's off and running. And he's got wheels, so when he wants to put it down or store it somewhere else, really cool design, solves a problem for sure. And ended up spending just 4 hours on it. The total cost that he said was $120, and it weighs less than 40 pounds. So that's a big contrast to what he could buy for $2,000 and weighing over 300 pounds from this company, Big Tool Rack. So here's a few more pictures. You can see the construction there with not too bad as far as connectors go. First four casters on the bottom that I guess you could or could not use. Here's some 45s to brace it. T's in here. and then 90 degrees on the corners in one, two, three, four, five, six places. So six 90s, a bunch of T's, casters, 45s. Yeah. And if you're interested in something like that, if you have a tractor and you want to recreate this, Renato was kind enough to create a whole document outlining his process. So it goes through step by step his build. He references a lot of different things. He shows you the quick hitch attachment by Speco, and he goes through with a cut list, all the connectors he used, assembly instructions. I mean, this is fantastic information. We'll link this down in the description, what he shared. He even came up with this great hack. I love this one. He took his circular saw that he has and he just put a fiber disc on it that cost a couple bucks and was able to cut the conduit with that. And that's something that I haven't seen too often. So that's a great hack and a way to cut the conduit if you need to, pre-fitting, and the base that he created. But he also went ahead and tested it as well, which we truly appreciate. That comes down here. So he wanted to. Now the RK spec, his tractor said the hitch lift can hold 1,500 pounds or something like that. So he wasn't looking to do that, but he wanted to get a sense of how much it could hold. So he used these large water barrels, these blue water barrels, to kind of test it. So he said part one, he put one water barrel on it. It was handled it with no problem. When he put the 250 pounds additional, so 500 pounds total, he had a failure on this piece of conduit right here on the top rack, right there. Let me zoom in. That bent, and then the connectors were starting to pull out. So now we kind of know the limits and can see what we can do to beef that up if needed be. But Renato, wonderful, wonderful build. Thanks so much for sharing this and all the trouble of creating that document. Really appreciate it. I know people will get a kick out of that. Here's one by Kristen, and this is her second boat build. She's back at it. Her first boat build was a rowing boat cart, a high performance rowing boat that she needed to get from her house down to the water. And this, she needs to get a boat from the shore back up. And she created this assistive device, a cart, I guess you would say, that allows you to take a rowboat, put it on it, and then pull the rowboat and the cart up the shore with ease. And you can see it's there mounted there. Rowboat ties to the top. It's got this wheels on there, nice pneumatic big wheels, and then a carpeted pad that the back you can see there that the back of the rowboat attaches to. So she's building with EMT Conduit. She was happy with the solution, thought it was a good thing. So we're happy. Kristen, great job building another thing with EMT Conduit. We love seeing it. You've come up with some really cool solutions. Thanks for sharing that one. This one we've got is a hack by Don. Don says he's a retired NASCAR designer. And what a unique solution. So what he did was he drilled a hole in the backside of maker pipe connectors, the T connector right there. So he drilled and deburred that hole right there. And then he wanted a way to help increase the pullout strength. And that's the weakest part of the T connector because it's relying just on friction to hold the pipe in. So he did something different where he created a hole there, and then you can see him drilling. And then he also drilled a hole in the conduit to match. And then he drove a roll pin into, there it is, there's a spring roll pin. He drove that into the connector so it protruded down into the hole that he created in the conduit. You can see that in his first photo, I believe. There it is. It's stuck in there. And then it's going to engage into that hole that he drilled right into the conduit there, and prevents it or reduces, increases the amount of force it can take before it pulls out. So Don, what a great hack. I love seeing that. I've never seen that before. So we really appreciate it. Sharon, Don, if you have a build that you absolutely need more strength in that regard. We've seen where people have used a self-tapping screw to drill through the connector and the EMT conduit, And then here's another option that Don came up with. I love the creativity. And I also want to give a special thank to Don because he posted these SketchUp designs of our connectors in the community. So if you're a SketchUp designer, if you know how to use that software package, Don created some great models, simple design models of our connectors so you can model your build with SketchUp. If you use a different program, and you can use STLs. We also have those in the community as well. But what a great group from the community. Thanks so much to everybody that posted their builds and spent time sharing their ideas. I really appreciate it. If you like these builds, if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We do this every week, and we'd love to have you. See you next week. Take care.